I think we're live, guys.
Yay, are we?
Yeah, it says live.
Oh, okay. It still says scheduled for me. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. What's up, everybody? Thank you all for joining us this evening for the Black Creators Connect panel. My name is Meg. I will be your host. And let us know in the chat where everybody is coming from. We see a few people from SoCal, New York, Texas, Ohio. Oh, Ohio, that's Myra. All right. Let us know where y'all are coming from. And I guess while we wait for some more people to come in, why don't we go around and do some introductions? So I'm gonna pick on Laura. Laura, won't you pop us off? Won't you start us off? Let us
Oh
know who you are,
man.
what you do, all the things.
No, I'm so pumped to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me. I think it's going to be incredible. I'm so excited. I love that Archer and Olive does this every single year, and I'm just like feeling really proud and honored to be a part of it. If we have not met, hello, hi, my name is Lauren, but all of my friends call me Lore, and we obviously all here in the chat live, wherever you're tuning in from, we are friends. So I go by Lore. During the week, I am a full time influencer and content creator. And then on the weekends, I actually shoot weddings from the perspectives of social media. So I'm a wedding content creator. Really fun job. I get to hang out with people on their wedding day and I get to eat wedding cake and dance all weekend. So they're like, it literally is the best job ever. And I got my start in the influencing and content world actually in the planner space. And I mean, would it be an Olive and Archer session if I didn't talk about my current journal and what that is? I do a lot of creative memory keeping. So I love me a good sticker and writing, and Beyonce features quite prominently in my journal all the time. But that is a little bit about me and what I do. So I'm pumped here, and I'm gonna pass it to Jerica.
Hi everyone. So I guess my name's Jerica, if in case you didn't know. By day, I'm actually a nutritionist for children. Right now, I do 5 and under, and then also by day, I kicked cancer.
Oh, we can't hear you, Jerica. Can y'all hear Jerica? We can't hear you. Oh no. Jerica, we can't hear you, girl. Oh no, I don't know if she can hear us either.
I don't think she can she see us?
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
whatever she's saying, it sounds good too. I'm kind of
I
Yeah.
like
know. I want to know what
it.
she's saying so bad.
Okay. While Jerica works out her audio, Myra, do you want to go ahead?
Sure.
Jerica, you might have to hop off and hop back in. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Myra.
Okay, yeah. While Jerica hops back out and in. I'm Myra. I'm at by Myra P pretty much everywhere. Um, I do creative stuff. I love doing productivity, cozy tech, all the vibes. So that's what I do over on my little corner of the internet. We talk all things Notion. We talk all things tech and how to be productive with it. So come hang out with me.
Yes.
And also
Franklin.
the podcast.
Oh,
Letters
period.
and wine.
Oh
Not
yeah.
just forgetting the part. Myra.
Well, I guess it's my turn, huh? Goon Talk. I hope you guys are feeling blessed and highly flavored. It's me, your favorite chrome down craft cowboy known as Frank. And my brand is called Quite Frankly. And my whole mission is to encourage people to be boldly and unapologetically their best selves by providing services, content, and products to help supplement that. It all started with a boy with a dream. Um to live his best life, his best way, unapologetically, with no negativity. And also a love to create as well as plan. And that's what happened when I got my very first spiral bound planner. And since then, it has been just a journey of coming into fall. So I've styled people here. I've done really extensive projects from interior design and things of that nature. So very eclectic overall. And but my true love and where it all started from was finding the planner community. And I'm just happy to be here in the space with such amazing creators, to be completely honest.
Yes. Thank you, Franklin. Jerica, you good to go, girl? You wanna we didn't hear anything you said, but we know it looked like it sounded great.
It was.
So
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to let y'all know it was fantastic. Okay, y'all missed it. I mean, I was in my prime. Okay, I got a phone call. So just FYI, if y'all stuff is not like I got a phone call. That's what happened, and then it just
One moment, then.
See, I knew the Lord told me to say something. So let me start over. My name is Jerica. I am a nutritionist by day. I do nutrition for 5 and under, also infants. And that's kind of my specialty at this point. And then also by day, I have kicked cancer's butt. And then I'm currently in recovery from a stem cell transplant. So very thankful for that. And then by night, I love all things planner. I love all things junk journaling, which is how I kind of gotten into Archer and Olive. Somebody gave me my first Archer and Olive as a gift, and I had no idea what to do with it. And I was like, I got to do something with this pretty journal. And it was actually like I didn't know it was at the time, but it's actually the coveted B cover with the gilded edges. Like, I didn't know I had prime journal in my hands. I had no idea. I just knew it was cute. And so I just wanted to do something. So I started junk journaling with that. And so that's kind of how I got into Archer and Olive. And then I also like a small little thing called washi tape. I have a couple, just here and there. So I think that's probably what I'm best known for, is doing washi art that looks like me and looks like Black women. And I focus on that. I specialize in that. I'm intentional about making art that looks like me because I feel like I don't see enough of me in a creative space. So that's why it's always intentional. You see it with my junk journaling. You're always going to get a fashion doll that looks like me. Just my preference. Like I said, I feel like I just don't see enough of me. So that's why you'll always see that when you come to my art. So thank you guys. I'm very honored and excited to be on the panel. I'm so thankful for Archer and Olive to think of me and want me to come back. I had a blast on the team. It was so great. I missed them, but I don't miss them too much because I made a purchase. I had to have the storybook one. Don't know what I'm gonna do with her yet. She might just be cute on the shelf, but sorry about the technical difficulties earlier, but I'm just very excited to be here.
yes, and we are excited to have you guys here hanging out with us tonight. I think it's going to be really amazing and informative. And if y'all have any questions for the panelists, make sure y'all just drop them in the chat and we will just go from there. So let's go ahead and get started. So first question, when and why did you create your online platform? Myra, let us know when and why did you create your online platform?
I originally I pretty much everyone here I got my start in the planner community. And I was just new mom, new wife, just kind of looking for something to organize myself with and kind of getting that, and stumble across the planner community, and it just kind of grew from there. I've always been about productivity, so being able to grow from just the planners to something more digital like with Notion, it has just, the whole Myra little brand has just grown from there, and just trying to find a way to organize my crazy life.
I feel you. I feel you. I relate to that as well. I feel like I started my platform just to connect with other people online. That was something that me and you had started connecting with offline, and then just to find more people. And then I just ended up finding so much through this community, so many people that I enjoy, so many events that I enjoy doing, and our podcast that we do together. So this community has absolutely brought so much to my life. Jerica, what about you? Why did you start your platform and when?
Pretty much the same. I was just trying to be more organized at work, and then because I was using digital, but it was kind of felt frowned upon because I think people were thinking that you're always like on your phone or something like that. And so I got a paper planner, and to basically not look like that, because I was always the youngest in the office anyway. So they already think, you know, you don't know a whole lot. And so that's pretty much why I got a paper planner. And then you kind of get on Instagram looking for ideas, and you realize it is a whole new world. It is a whole community, a whole world. And then it branches out into these other little branches of junk journaling and planning and art and all of this. So it was just the discovery of it. And then my friends were kind of telling me, you know, you can post your stuff, it looks good or whatever. And I was like, okay, we'll do that and we'll go from there. And I think the brand, it's weird to call myself a brand. I be chilling, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I don't really consider myself a brand, but I guess the brand and what I was known for started actually during COVID out of boredom. I had the account probably a year before that, and then COVID, I was doing a lot of buying, a whole lot of not going nowhere. So the planner would be decorated for the week, and that would be it. And I would still have 7 hours left of work, and even then we were working. And so I was buying a whole bunch of washi tape, and I saw somebody do a dress, and I was like, I bet I could do that. I got plenty of time. I'm not going anywhere. But then I didn't have the dress. I just had my coloring books. And so an awesome friend, her name's Candace, gave me a gorgeous Gold Mine and Cocoa coloring book. So I just pulled that and didn't know it at the time, picked one of the hardest designs to do for washi art. And that first washi art piece took me like 3.5 weeks. And and I wasn't going to post it at all. Like, I was not going to post it. I thought it looked a mess, to be honest. And my friends were like threatening me. Like, if you don't post this and tag Simply Gilded, we're coming to your house in the middle of a pandemic. And I was like, fine, whatever. It's not, I mean, a couple of people are going to like it. And then it kind of blew up. And I didn't realize at the time what I did was special and that people hadn't seen it before. And so that was kind of eye-opening. And so I really think that the direction my brand is going, there's still not a whole lot of people that look like me that do it. So I think I'm still trying to pave that little way, but it's very therapeutic for me. So that's pretty much kind of how the brand kicked off. Basically boredom.
I love it. I love it. It was a couple people in the chat a little bit earlier was calling you the washi queen. So I think the brand has popped off. I think you got a brand, girl. The brand is branding, okay?
You got a brand.
There we go. Next up, Laura, since you just unmuted, go ahead.
Yeah.
Let us know how and why you created your online platform.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So this is something I reflect about a lot. I would used to tell people that I created an online platform because I wanted community. I felt like that is what I heard other people say. I felt like that is what I heard other people, do with their platforms, is that they were seeking community. And I think that statement is still truthful in the sense that, like, I was seeking community, but I think community looks different to different people. And so while mine was not necessarily a community that was focused on like making relationships, I think it's a beautiful byproduct from what has happened. I think ultimately, I was looking for a creative outlet. At the time that I started my platform, I was working a very rigorous 9-to-5 job. I was really in the corporate grind, TBT to the days that like we would wake up. I would go to the gym, I'd go to work, I would then go out with coworkers afterwards, and then you got to be asleep because you got to wake up for a 5 a.m. wake up call the next day, you know? And I just felt that like my life was in this just one big loop of what that looked like. And so I will never forget, I bought a planner, and I went on YouTube to look at like, what is this? Why am I spending $60 on paper? Like, why am I doing this? What does this look like? And I saw this community, and just without a second doubt, I made a Instagram account called Plan with Laura. Like I said, my name's Lauren, but now I go by Laura. And I, at the time, was like, absolutely, I do not want anyone to see this. This is so embarrassing. I can't believe people post pictures of their planner on the internet. That is so not safe. Like, people are going to show up to their houses. Like, this is so weird. But then at the same time, I was like, but I am one of them. Like, I am one of them, and I want to be embraced by them. And so that really is kind of how it was. I think I was seeking out just a creative opportunity. I was at a time in my life that I was looking for community in many different sense of the world. And it has been a whirlwind between 2019, when I started that account, to where we are today. I feel like I've lived 6 different lives in the process. And we're just gonna, like a cat, still got a couple more to go, you know?
As somebody who knows Laura, I can absolutely let y'all know she has lived probably about 15 different lives. 6 since I've known her, but 15 at least total. That's awesome, Laura. And Franklin, what about you? Why did you create your online platform?
Okay, so interesting story, actually. So in 2014, life kind of got okay. So I found the planner community in 2014. Basically, I was projected to graduate from undergrad that year, and I didn't. And so it was devastating for me. I'm very much a Virgo through and through. And I was just like really, really beating myself up. And then it got to a point where I was like, you know what? There's no point of being like that if you're not going to do anything about it. So that's when I bought my first ECLP. I had my life planner. And I didn't know anything about the community. I just had the planner. The advertisement caught me, so I got it. And then when I started doing the research and fell upon Etsy, that's when I got my first taste of the stickers and stuff. And then I got into YouTube and all these things. I was like, oh my God, this stuff is gorgeous. But out of all that, I realized that, and I'm just gonna say it, I felt like a extra glittery cupcake amongst muffins in a sense, whereas I didn't see any boys. I didn't see no boys. None. No boys. And I also didn't see Black women either, but they were scattered, but so I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna make an Instagram, but I don't know if I want to just put myself out there like that. So that's where the alter ego Sergio Savage came from. And then Sergio Savage and Company, when I started actually pursuing entrepreneurship and building a community and things of that nature. And so I built him because I was scared to just really be me with the people. And then recently I realized that him is me, just like Sasha Fierce is Beyonce. So I was like, you know what, it's time to dissolve him. And quite frankly, it's time to just let it all out, be transparent, be bold, be unapologetic about it, and let's encourage other people to do the same. So that's how my brand started. If we're starting from the very beginning in 2014.
Yes, Franklin, that is amazing. I mean, I feel like what I got from all of our stories, and just from what I know of all of you guys too, like, we all came from a place of wanting to see more of ourselves in this community, in this hobby, or this career path that we loved. And so sometimes when you don't see the representation, you just got to make it yourself. And I feel like we all have done that in so many different spaces. So amazing to hear about you guys. So what is something, because we're going to get into the nitty gritty in a minute, but what is something that we all love or you all love about creating and sharing on social media? Let's start with Laura.
How much time do you have? You know, like how much time of this panel can I take up? You know, oh my gosh, I love the internet. I'm simultaneous. I have a love-hate relationship with the internet. I will say that. But oh my gosh, I think one of the coolest things that anybody can do is share their story. I think it's one of the most vulnerable and simultaneously empowering things about being in the online space is sharing your story and telling people about you. And I think that is my favorite part of creating. As someone who I do a lot of like really creative things, like we can get into nitty gritty about like transitions and cuts, and I've become like a really big tech geek in the process. Like again, we started with like a paper planner, and now I'm like researching the best microphones to use and things like that, like things I didn't realize that I was gonna want to get into. But definitely my favorite thing is just being able to share stories, is being able to hear people's stories. I think in the same way that being vulnerable and sharing your story, being the keeper of other people's stories is also a very powerful thing. And I think anybody here on this panel can attest to the amount of DMs and messages and voice notes that we have gotten from people who have told us very personal and intimate things about their lives because a story that we shared resonated with them. And I think that that is just such an honor and a privilege. And to me, like, is why I continue to do what I do and why I continue to create. Because sure, like viral numbers are cool, and like, I mean, getting sales, I need to do that, you know. But like, the thing that is the most important is the stories that you share and the stories that you keep, and you know, being able to just connect in such an intimate way, I think is just one of the most powerful things in the world.
Agreed. I love that. I love that. What about you, Franklin? What do you love about sharing online?
What I think I love the most about sharing online is uh the resonance and the sense of belonging that I get now. Because when I first came into the community, again, I didn't see myself, and then like my first uh events and workshops that I went to in my local area at that time, it weren't necessarily the best experiences I've had. And it just feels good, like, you know, like Laura said, when you have those people that see you and acknowledge you, especially when you're really being yourself. Because oftentimes, especially being in the South, oftentimes I'm told to dim down, to pull back, to yield, to sometimes silence. And in one way or another, those kind of impact me. Um, and being able to take that negative energy and let that be fuel to push something out or manifest something or create something that's beneficial for others, I don't see why not share it. Um, because ultimately I like to serve, and I love to provide things that are beneficial in some form or fashion to other people. And like Laura said, I feel like becoming a content creator has opened my eyes to other perspectives as far as um creation. She was talking about pricing mics. I've been pricing sound decks and all types of stuff, you know, because people are saying, "Oh, we want a podcast and Patreon." Da, da, da." Okay. Pull the planner out and write the stuff down and get it. So, yeah.
I love it. That's amazing, Franklin. What about you, Jerica? What is something that you love about sharing online?
If I am totally honest, I could really kind of care less how many people see my stuff. I kind of really do it for me. I mean, it helps me relax. And half the time stuff gets posted because I get threatened because I'll show my friends and they're like, so you're going to post that, right? And so I'm like, Okay, but there are several, and I didn't realize that I was a true artist until probably when I started working on this workshop with Irene. That because I think about Simply Good, I'm like, she's an artist, like she, draws her things, everything like that. I just use it to color basically, and Irene had to kind of explain to me like, no, you're an artist too, because I'll look at something and I'm not really happy with it, and then I'll post it and it's like everyone's favorite. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm much harder on myself than I am. So my favorite, I love the joy that it brings people though. I think it's pretty cool that doing something for myself to relax myself, other people enjoy. And I always thought I had to have, like Laura said, all these transitions and these perfectly edited videos and all of that stuff. When in reality, people just like to watch me work on them with a song. People are like, I'll watch this 6 times in a row and it's so relaxing to just watch you cut on tape and paper. And so I realized that you don't have to have all the bells and whistles to be successful, in a sense, or to reach people. You don't have to have all those bells and whistles to reach people. Everything is filmed with my phone. I have a camera, but I don't be using it like that. And so I think just a message to anybody out there, just start. I mean, you don't have to, one day when I grow up big and strong, I'm gonna be like Meg and Myra with the headphones and the microphones, baby. One day, honey. But until then, we rocking and rolling with what we have. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. Everybody's at different stages. And then there's also people who are very successful and are just now getting to where, they're pricing mics and all that kind of stuff like that. So I think just start and don't be afraid, because somebody out there will like it. I think a lot of people are afraid that nobody will like it and la la la. First of all, you shouldn't care, because if you did it and it made you happy, that's all that matters at the end of the day. It's just a bonus that, oh, y'all like this washi art too. That's great, because I loved it. I thought I did a great job. So I think you just should be very in love with what you create yourself, and then other people loving it is just the icing on the cake. So that's my favorite part. And then my other favorite part, it has brought me so many amazing friendships. It really just by posting and commenting back and forth and hitting people's stories about what they've created and what they liked. And also, if you see something that somebody did you like, reach out to that person and tell them you like it. People love to hear that. It helps you become, closer with people. And then sometimes you create these friendships that, let's be honest, we all have several friends that we have never met in person, but we talk every single day, have phone numbers and everything, and haven't met in person at all. Okay. So you can cultivate things. So I love that it's created these awesome relationships for me in my life, and some of the best people I've met through just sharing my content. So that's probably my absolute favorite part.
Love that. Myra, what about you? What is something that you love about creating and sharing online?
I kind of echo everyone else, but for me, it's 2 things: it's community and a bit of self-discovery. I love what I do, and what I do has helped me to figure out exactly what I love about me. So everything I do online like embodies that and pushes through that. And then just with the community aspect of it, like I think it was you, Jerica, that said like someone else out there likes what you like, or someone else is gonna love what you put out there. And I tend to like slightly different from the grain. Like you know, I love paper, but I also really love digital, and I love this, all this Notion and all this other stuff. And there's so many people out there that are like, I think I like that too, and I really enjoy like building up that community and run into people that want to see what brings me joy and how to use it and how to incorporate it into their daily lives. And yeah, in the midst of like the community aspect, it helps me to discover me as well.
I love that, Myra. I think it's so important for anybody who is creating and sharing online to remember their why and to not get so caught up in how people are going to take it, how they're going to view it. I feel like it's just so easy to be self-conscious about people picking apart you or your art or whatever you're putting out there. And, you know, if it gets to a point where obviously if it's not worth it, then that's one thing, but you need to make sure it's worth it to you and that you're always trying to do it for the right reasons and truly just doing it for yourself. And that's something that I heard from each and every one of y'all, that y'all are at the end of the day, y'all are just doing it for yourself, doing something that makes you happy, and y'all not worried about these other folks. I love that. I love
That. Sorry, I have to add.
Go ahead, girl.
I like to talk a little bit, you know? I also think one of the best pieces of advice that I got was actually from another member in this beautiful planner community. But it's that most people work for years to look like an overnight success. And essentially what that means is that I think a lot of times we see people, especially people that we look up to, people that we admire, people that we, you know, love their platform, and we're like, wow, like, they have it all figured out. First off, we all don't. Like, that's just number one. But also, number two, I think it's very easy to look at someone where they are. And what you don't know is that, you know, they've spent 10 years behind the scenes learning a craft, or they, you know, have never had a camera and had to manually learn how to operate it and to figure it out and to find it and to put all of the things together, you know, like, it's very easy to think that once someone gains level of success, and I think just as Meg said, success, that idea of success looks very different for everybody, but it's very easy to look at someone who is full time or someone who, you know, has 20,000 subscribers or someone who has whatever and think like, wow, they all have it together and it is perfect. But that is them now. And it took them years to get to that point. And for some people, that is 5 years. From other people, that is 10 years. For other people, that is 20 years. And yeah, you know, just like a lot of times we think people are overnight successes, but they've been putting in that work and that effort for years. To get to where they are in their journey. And I think that that's, again, to Jerica's point, to just start, to be excited about the journey, to also be open to where it will take you, because I don't think any of us sitting here on the panel would be like, yes, this is something that I am doing, you know, or something that like I want to do in this capacity. But it is where we're at, you know?
That is such a good point. That is such a good point. Because I feel like if any of us sitting here, you know, look back on our lives 5 years ago, 10 years ago, like we had no idea that we would probably be here right now doing this exact thing. And that's why you just got to stay open to the opportunities that life throws at you. And, you know, people don't see the hard work that goes into the success. And I think that's a really, really important reminder. I love that. Okay, so something that I am very curious about. Have you guys had any negative experiences online as a Black creator? I think that that is something that is a huge part of being online and being a somewhat public person and sharing things online, is that it's obviously not going to be all, you know, rainbows and unicorns. But if have you guys had any negative experiences online, and how have you dealt with those negative experiences? Jerica, let's start with you.
So honestly, I haven't really had too many negative experiences. Um, Either just in general and or being Black. So thankfully, but I've seen it happen with other people that I know, other people that I care for. And I've always been the person that's probably the listening ear to that, to kind of sound off like, how should they handle this, how to do that. And so I fortunately enough have not had a bad experience, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're, you know, happening behind my back, because sometimes I say some things that everybody else is thinking. I'm just gonna say it. I don't really care. But I think that how you say things helps as well. And I think that your intent behind what you say is that as well, because it's never to be malicious or anything of that nature. It's just that, like, come on now, like, this is the elephant in the room. So I wouldn't be surprised if it was happening behind my back. But fortunately, to my face, honestly, the worst thing that's happened to me is people have said that I'm wasting washi tape with my art, which was hilarious because it's still funny to me. So that's honestly the worst thing. And so I know I'm very fortunate in that aspect. But, you know, other things happen in everyday life, of course, being Black. But as far as this space, I think I've built a good little community around me that, like I said, I don't really new people. But the community that I have and the people based around me that enjoy my art are relatively positive people. Also, I think with me, you kind of see up front what you sign up for. It has always looked like me. It has from the beginning, and that's just how it's going to be. So I think that, you know, if you're just shocked by that, you ain't been here that long. So you kind of know what you're getting. But I've noticed too, though, the bigger you get, the more comes. So I just wouldn't be surprised, especially as my numbers are growing now, if that changes on my experience with this. But I'm also, and if you know me, and Meg can probably attest to this, I probably still won't care then. But it's never a good feeling when you kind of know, and especially with people I care about, I get more mad at people saying things about my friends than I do about me. And that's just how I've always been. So, I mean, I'd be ready to have time behind Meg. I just need y'all to understand that.
All right. Yes, you do.
You know that. So I get more upset about my friends than I do myself. I don't take what I do very seriously. So I don't take people's rude comments seriously. So I think that's just my experience with that.
I love it. I love it. Jerica said other people thoughts about me. It's none of my business. And I love that.
That's the way to be.
There we go. Well, okay, Frank, let's talk about it. What have you had any negative experiences? And if so, how have you dealt with those?
Yes, I have had negative experiences. When I first got my first negative interaction on Instagram, I didn't know how to take it. Just to be completely honest, you know, it wasn't an initial mad or anything. It was kind of like a brick wall, boom, and then just the dust of my actual emotions started to settle in on it. Um, and I don't know if it was more so because of the color of my skin or because I'm a male in a honestly a female dominated community, but I was getting a lot of hateful things, even in regards of um, you know, men aren't supposed to wear a pig. I've gotten stuff about my, you know, when I did makeup looks and stuff, because you know I've actually dabbled into makeup. I've actually done clients' faces, getting paid now, get money for doing these things, and it's just weird to me how we're so quick to throw somebody in a bubble or a box or a compartment um over some of the smallest and stupidest of things. I think the other like negative thing that kind of happened was me coming into the community and not realizing the type of people I was initially hanging with when I came into the community. And that impacted me in the sense of I didn't know how to trust. So there was a point where I actually just stopped completely posting. And then, you know, that part of what truly brought me happiness in life dimmed off. And thankfully, I got a revitalization of that. Thankfully, I was able to use that for my better. Um, and what I've learned especially when I got into my spiritual journey, which is part of like the content that I actually put out there too. I learned and realized that life is gonna life regardless. Time's gonna go on regardless. They talked about Jesus. They talked about Gandhi. They talked about Dr. Sebi. They talked about Albert Einstein. But what you notice is all those people made an impact. And because of those people, you live the life that you live today. So cool. You feel that way? Great. But what I learned is to take those negative emotions, those negative feelings, all that, and keep going. Use it as fuel. Because obviously I'm doing something right if you're trying so hard to stop me in my tracks like that. And if I can encourage one person in this world to do the same thing, my job is done. Definitely had some bad experiences. Handled it. I handle them better now than I did back then. But it kind of just teeters on the line of how you go about it is how I react. But again, I think that comes with time and place and just knowing what battles are worth fighting, or when it's time to actually pull the petty cape out. But I try to keep it up.
Period.
You know, I try to keep her, put away. But sometimes you gotta show them what super petty really looks like.
Sometimes you do. Yeah.
I love a good petty cake. Oh man, I'll be having mine steamed and pressed, baby. Ready.
Listen, to the rescue.
Oh my gosh, y'all are killing me. Y'all are killing me. But that's so true. And frankly, you reminded me of a quote from, one of the greatest lyricists of our time, Beyonce. You know you that chick when you cause all this conversation. You know what I'm saying? So if people not talking about you, you ain't doing something right.
Listen,
So-
Mama Dill definitely said it. She was like, baby, if you ain't got at least one person out there they're stirred up by you're something not right. You need
Something
to
not right.
Try
Do a
again.
little more. Exactly.
You know what though? That reminds me of another quote. It's like, I do the most because you're not doing enough. So, and that one,
Phaedra,
I'm writing it down right
attorney
now.
at law.
there we
Exactly.
go. That's who it was. And I heard that and I was like, that is fantastic.
I do too much because you
That
do
is-
too little.
So that's
Let's go.
something you can say and be like, you doing the most. Well, that's
There we
because you
go.
ain't doing enough.
That's right. That's right.
Period. So
Yep. Myra, what about you? Have you had any negative experiences online, and how do you deal with those?
Yes, I could totally write a book. How Myra Became a Slytherin, featuring negative comments from the internet.
It's literally your villain or origin
It's
story.
my
Okay.
villain story. But no, yeah, I mean, I think it's something that had to get kind of used to, and it's sad to say that it kind of comes a part of the sitch or a part of the gig with putting yourself out there. So it is something that once it, first happened a few times, was something I had to learn to get used to. There's things that I like with me being who I am, outspoken. I'm gonna talk about what's right, and I'm gonna talk about what's wrong. It just comes with the territory. A lot of people don't like friction. A lot of people don't like change. And I am the friction and I am the change in most areas of my life. So it just kind of comes with it. I kind of handle it as one, get you a group chat. Get you a group chat. Get you a group chat.
Group chat
Sometimes-
saves lives.
Saves lives.
when I tell you they be saving some of y'all so bad, so bad. That is we don't get nothing else today, Myra. Get you a group
Get you a
chat
group
of friends
chat.
that you
Yeah,
trust.
that you trust, and just vent there, because here's the thing too. I had to realize that some people see me as entertainment and not a human. I'm just entertainment to some people. And that's okay. Like, I put myself out there as a content creator, but if like that's my piece of advice here. Like, if this is something that you want to do, you want to put yourself out there, you have to kind of separate yourself, that some people do just see you as entertainment, and they will egg you on if you giving them the entertainment. That's why group chat saves lives, because if you see the internet as your group chat, they will continue to egg you on until you look like Boo Boo the Fool out here. So definitely get you a group chat, learn that separation of, you may just be entertainment to some people and not a human being. But once I've like kind of encompassed those two, it's been a lot a lot peaceful, a lot easier to continue to do what I love to do.
I can't tell y'all how many times me and Myra have had to like talk each other off the ledge of going off on the internet.
Listen,
And we're lucky because we're never really upset at the same time. Like one of us will be really fired up, and the other will be like, "Okay, it's chill." And then but you need that. You need those friends.
right.
Yes.
And I'm gonna chime in on what you said, Myra, where you said, you cause friction because you're the change, you're that difference. I think that's where a lot of the negative stuff I get comes from. In just in the regards of I am different. I know I'm different. I know when I come into a room I'm different because people look at me just like sometimes. And it's not that I want the attention. I just want to be comfortable in my skin where I'm at because I do take up space and I do make noise. And I'm I'm not going to shrink myself nor turn the volume down if I'm not causing harm. Now I ain't saying don't be professional or whatever, what have you. Like if you're an important executive meeting or nothing. But what I'm saying is that if I have rights just like everybody else, and I am a human. You know what I'm saying? So I can completely understand where you're coming from, or where the row comes from, and it's like, oh my goodness, like why can't I just be me? But it is what it is as far as that goes. I'm just thankful that I've built a relationship with my people and my God in order to learn that it's not even worth it most of the time, because at the end of the day all things come together and work for your good if you allow it to.
Yep, that's so true. That's so true. That I think that was definitely probably the biggest lesson that I've learned too. That most of the time, 99% of the time, is not worth your time. It's not worth your energy. It's not worth your frustration. It's definitely not worth your attention. So don't even give people what they want. Laura, what about you? Have you had any negative experiences online, and how have you dealt with those?
I mean, I think to be online, here's what I'll say. I think to be online as a Black creator is a negative experience. And I think that that is a statement that feels very hard and maybe feels like, that's not what we typically hear on social media. But I mean, there are statistics about this. This has been written about, this has been analyzed about. Like, it is significantly harder for Black creators to prosper on social media apps. Algorithms do not favor Black creators. People do not buy as frequently from Black creators. Black creators do not get as many brand deals and collabs and opportunities in the online space as other people and other races and other individuals do. And so, yeah, sure, we can talk about my DMs and whatever, but I think the larger conversation here to be had is to said that, like, I think to be online as a Black creator is a stance of resistance. I think it's a stance of power. I think it's a stance of something that, it is already hard enough to be online and to be a person and to put yourself out there for consumption and criticism and all of the things that really come along with that. But I also think in the way of like, and how do I deal with that? I think that one of the, as I said beforehand, like, your story is the most important thing that you can do. And I know that, like, for me personally, I take a lot of pride and passion in trying to make it better in fields that I go to make it better. Listen, I always say that, like, there was like the Black girl bump of 2020 when everyone wanted to be inclusive and diverse and wanted to have Black creators represented on their brands and things like that. I don't think that is anything to be ashamed of. A lot of people were really able to harness and take their platforms to another level. And I think that that is a really incredible thing. But I know that, like, for me personally, anytime that I was asked to do a collab, I would always ask, who are the other creators on this? Am I the only Black creator who's being a part of this? I also recognize that I'm a light-skinned individual, and so I think it's really important to be able to see people at of all shade ranges. And so for me, it is very important in the things that I'm a part of and that I'm engaged in. How can I make this opportunity better for the next creator? How can I, if I'm talking to a brand, tell them what is important in terms of rates? How do you price things? Even if that means that I don't get a collab, or that I might miss out on something, or that I might not be the person that they choose to work with in this instance. I see it as like my responsibility to make it better for the creators, specifically the Black creators who will come after me. And so, yeah.
Damn, Laura, mic drop. I'm glad I beat you.
No, I'm glad you said that, because it's really true. I feel
true.
like to go along with it, it makes it difficult sometimes for other Black creators to support other Black creators as well, because we deal with such a hostile environment, and then it gets to a point where do I trust my brother or my sister in the community? And I hate that, to be completely honest, because trauma, the past experiences of, and I love when I love the fact that I got invited to do this, because I love to connect with people. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a purple alien for space. People are people, and yes, I want to connect with the community, but I absolutely want to connect with my other melanated people of all shades as well. So that was a
And
very
I
important part.
will add that I think it's really important, and if there's one takeaway that we take away from this conversation, this panel that we have, it is to upload Black creators. It is to, I know it sounds silly and it is easy to like something or to save something, but if their content inspires you, tell them. There are more days than not where creators are doubting their purpose, or doubting their sense of self, or doubting if it's worth it to continue creating it. If it helps you, let them know. Also, like, y'all hype us up in the comments. Like, y'all tell us that you like it. Y'all show us that love, because the algorithms are already not favoring us. The brands are not wanting to collab in the way, or not seeing the value, or not seeing what the investment could be. And I think that there is so much that's left out there, because listen, like it or not, I wish we lived in a world where it just mattered to just tell your story and just be what it is. But on some sides of the internet, engagement metrics matter, and it's things that things that people want to see. And so that is important, and telling people that you value what they do is important. I can't tell you how many times I've randomly gotten a DM that someone said, this template that you shared, or this YouTube video that you shared helped me out. And like, I have a folder full of screenshots of people saying nice things, because on the days that it doesn't feel worth it, or on the days that it doesn't feel like we want to continue to go on, that's what we go and we reference to. So yeah, hype up your favorite creators.
Yes. And Erica makes plans, said in the chat. She said, I don't be wanting to bother y'all. It's not a bother to support, girl.
Planner Big Sister, you stop your stuff in these comments now. And I'm still not
also though too, a lot, if you are anything like me, my Instagram DMs aren't like on, so I don't see them unless I go to them. So I don't think you're ever really bothering anybody, especially if you have something kind to say. Like, you just never know what kind of day that person's having, and so just say it anyway. If you're not, if you were bothering somebody, they'll just ignore you. But just that encouragement is so helpful. You have no idea. Like, I think like Myra said, people forget she's human. They think of her as entertainment. And so hearing that, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that there is a human being on the other side of that enjoys a compliment. And so I always try to give them when I can, and I ain't never commented on nothing before, but if it really moves me, I'm gonna say something, even if it's usually a DM and be like off to the side. But I a lot of times I like to say it in a DM because it just feels a lot more personal than it do. But I do understand the need to also do it in the comments to get that algorithm going. Like, hey, this person is getting some action. It's so sad you have to do that. It's so sad you have to do that for somebody, especially another Black creator. But I think just remember, you know, when you get in that door, we gonna pull some other people up behind us too, because we are just as creative. Just as creative. It's just sad that people can't get to see it because it's already against us. So I think you never, to round it all back, drop that comment. Everyone loves to hear them. Like even you know, people be walking down the street and they be like, "Oh, I do that in the store." I'll be like, "Oh, I love your shirt. I love your skirt." You just never know when you're making somebody's day. My favorite TikTok is that those girls that drive by and scream compliments at people. That's one of my favorite TikToks because people are genuinely shocked and surprised of getting a nice compliment. And that's sad. So we need to all give more compliments. So
that is so, so true. And I don't know, it's just important to lift people up whenever you have the opportunity, because like you said, like you just never know how someone's day or week or year is going. You just never know how you could make a positive impact on them. And that's why I feel like panels like this are important, conferences are important, meetups are important. Any opportunity that you can take to see the people behind the platform, they become humans. Because you know, I feel like it's so easy to be, you know, keyboard thug or whatever and say all this crazy stuff to people, but then when you're standing face to face with an actual human and you see they have a family, they have a career, they have things that are important to them, they have goals and they have dreams, it's a lot harder to be cruel when you see people like that. So I think it's important. And we're just all these nice comments in the comments. Y'all about to make me cry. Let me move on. Y'all know I'm soft. Anyway, next question. I want to know, how do you guys maintain your mental health while having an online presence? Franklin, let's start with you.
I used to stress myself out about this all the time, and I had like a breakthrough last week. So it's just crazy how this comes full circle. I leave. You know, and I'm not saying leave and stay away, but if it's stressing me out that bad to upload that video, I'm not gonna do it right then. If it's stressing me out that bad to post those 5 posts on Instagram and those 10,000 stories, excuse me, on stories and things of that nature, I stop. And I don't, and I take that time to reflect on stuff like, okay, what's going on? Take care of the bare necessities, take care of home, make sure everything is okay. And once you know everything is set where it needs to set, take the time with myself and my God and say, what do I need to do to be better? Because I feel like a lot of times, especially in today's day and age, where you have technology, you know, you could do everything from just the tips of your fingers and stuff. We sometimes forget to like really address what's inside of us. And it's just a thing of, okay, it's a cup and you're just pouring out of it, pouring out of it, pouring out of it, pouring out of it. But when are you taking the time to refill? And my thing is, I should never be pouring out of a cup and I'm depleting myself. I need to be pouring out of a cup because I'm just getting filled up so much that the abundance is overflowing. And so that's kind of where I'm at right now. It's like, yeah, I'm posting here and there, but I'm refilling my cup right now. And when I get to the brim and I'm starting to overflow, that's when I'm going to take the time to really dive back into it and put back out like that.
I love that. I love that. What about you, Laura? How do you maintain your mental health while having an online presence?
I think for me, given that this is my full-time job, I try to keep, I mean, I don't have many boundaries, you know, many work-life boundaries, but I definitely try to keep it as some like working hours as I can for what that will look like. I do not have any notifications on my phone, which makes me the worst person in the group chat because I don't have any notifications on when
That explains a lot, actually.
I don't have notifications on my phone, so I don't get notifications from social, notifications from text messages, or notifications from beyond. So I think that also helps. Like I don't feel this kind of like sense of this is happening. And I think that it's really important to have hobbies offline. I love to run. I love to scrapbook. I am an avid watcher of TV and film, and I like get really into journaling about it and like analyzing it through like soundscaping and focal lenses, like really weird and nerdy stuff. And I think it's really important to have things that are offline that allow you to refill that portion and that you keep for you. Because I think as creators, we are sharing so much of ourselves that you got to keep a little bit for yourself.
Love that. And okay, y'all, Laura is a very busy bee, so she's gonna have to hop off soon. But before you do, Laura, let everybody know where they can find you on all the platforms.
My gosh, too kind. I am playing with Laura everywhere. Please come hang out with me in my DMs. I'll probably send you back a voice note because I prefer to talk than, as we heard, I'm world's worst texter. But it's been incredible. And I'm going to continue to watch here with everybody.
Yes, thank you so much, Laura. But yeah, okay. So next up, Myra, how do you maintain your mental health while having an online presence?
Yeah. Same. I log off, I touch grass. I do have set boundaries. If you've ever DM'd me, you probably know. I only touch my DMs once a week for
3
like
to
an hour.
5 business days, y'all.
Yeah,
Okay.
the DMs is not the way to reach me.
That also explains so much.
It's just
I'd be like, Myra is 3 days
I
late
do
for
not.
this. You know what? I'm gonna have to get your number, baby, because I'd be like, what
That's
am I
yeah.
doing over there?
DMs is not it. It's for me personally, DMs bring me so much anxiety. I do not have notifications on any social media as well. So I have to actively go in and do all the social media things. And that works for me. So if you need something important, phone number, email. That's what's best for me. But I think just realizing like what you can take. Like for me, I used to get so overwhelmed with DMs, and I realized like, you know what, boundaries on that, and it's been a lot freeing. Going to like hobbies as well, offline, doing things completely offline that nobody knows. I could be as messy and as creative and as neat as I want to be, and I don't feel the need to like have to share it with the world. And it's something freeing about that. So yeah, those are the main things, because when you're online, you gotta set some boundaries. You have to.
That is so true. And also, if y'all need to get in touch with Myra in a pinch, you can always DM me, and
Yes.
I'll text her and I'll say, "Hey, girl, Jerica really needs to talk to you."
That does work too.
That works as well. Jerica, what about you? How do you maintain your mental health while having an online presence?
Just to piggyback off of Myra, outside hobbies. I think people need to also understand that it is okay to not post something. It is okay. The world keeps spinning. You're not going to lose followers because you didn't post today or yesterday or in a week. You may lose a couple, but them folks didn't need to be there anyway. It's okay. And I think I got real big, oh, they'll be all right energy. Like, there's several pieces that I've done that nobody's ever seen because I just did them to relax, to clear my mind. I have several ghost planners to just use stickers, and then to be just another form of being creative in different layouts, because sometimes it gets repetitive doing the same layout. So I'd be wanting to like flex my creative side a little bit. So I have different planners and different layouts that nobody ever sees. Archer and Olive bullet journal actually is one of my favorite things because you can just do so much with it. If I want a junk journal, I can. If I want to do a planner spread, I can. So, and when in a pinch, get you a dot grid notebook that will help you so much. And then I think since my journey over the last couple of years, for me personally, I have to focus my mental health on being positive, because when you're not positive, it does not help you when you're ill or when you're sick. It just doesn't. And I truly believe that my mindset is what helped me kick this thing. And even my doctor was like, you have to stay positive in this. And that's from my oncology doctor. And so I don't have time to have angst over something that doesn't feel as important now when you've gone through something that I've went through. I think that was a great reminder. While it's important what you're sharing and remembering your why and just being creative, I think in the scheme of things too, you have to remember that this should be fun. You shouldn't be stressed out doing this. If you are stressed out about this video, like Franklin said, don't post it, walk away from it. I've done that so many times with washi pieces, and I have not touched it for like a month, because I shouldn't be frustrated doing something that I love to do. You shouldn't be frustrated trying to do a video. It's just, you know what? The good Lord is telling me that this video ain't supposed to go up tomorrow. It's just not. Okay. So I think you just need to be okay with that. And that if you've built your community and your friends around you, they'll be okay. Now, people might actually check on you if you don't post, often. But even then, that's great, because you realize too that you've made an impact on someone, so they're checking on you and that type of thing. But I think having something offline is the key to all of this. It really is. So, and it may not be like Laura said, something that people don't even know about and you have never shown anybody else. That's okay. Mine is video games. I love playing video games. It doesn't matter if it's on my phone or my Switch. And I love The Sims. I'm a whole nerd with The Sims. I have a gaming laptop. I have
Oh my God, me too.
I love me some Sims. I nerd out over The Sims. I do custom content. I do mods. It's a whole world over there too. And I don't share it that much, but it allows you to be super creative. And I just find you an outlet that's not on here. Your entire outlet and your entire hobby shouldn't be this online presence. It really shouldn't, because that's not healthy. I don't think that's healthy. And so having something that you can connect with off of here is great. And I love how it seems like everybody's getting back into reading, or some people never left, but reading is a thing. But I think it's okay. And sometimes people need that. And so there's nothing like a good book. I love to read. I've always read my whole life. So I think mentally, you need it. You need to have something off of here. You really do.
I totally agree. A few comments ago, Misha in the chat said that she saw not everything has to be content. And I resonate with that so personally, because I am somebody who was 4 years into having a planner account and realized that my favorite way to plan was offline and not showing it and doing it privately by myself and not sharing it. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to just be willing to pivot and do what works best for you. You know what I'm saying? And if you definitely have to have balance, and you definitely have to have things offline that bring you joy, that validate you, and that just make you happy. That way you can keep going. Because, obviously being online, or whatever you're doing online, creating online, is not always going to bring that. So you definitely have to have it from some other spaces to fill that void. You don't want, all your confidence and validation to be coming from, external sources. You got to find some private internal ones to have it come from as well. If you guys have any questions for our amazing panelists, go ahead and drop them, because we are to our last question, but we'll definitely answer you guys' questions for a few minutes if y'all have any. So what are your future goals for yourself and for your platform? Myra, you want to kick us off?
Gladly. I'm definitely in the era of evolution with my brand and By Myra P. So right now, I am super excited for what I'm doing on my platform. Like I said before, I do a lot more productivity than just planners, digital productivity with tech, as well as just being cozy, all the vibes. I am now over on Twitch. I do a lot of co-working streams. So that is basically you kind of have that like digital accountability partner. If you work from home, it's perfect for it. Or if you just need to have somebody there while you get your office together, I'm there. So check me out over there. And we do a little bit of gaming there as well. So yeah, I'm really excited for the future and really excited to kind of open myself up and be in this space because the space that I'm kind of entering in, I don't see myself there as well. So really excited to do that and hopefully to inspire more people who look like me to step in that space as well.
Yes, I love it. And I know y'all see Myra's lighting. Okay. That's the vibe for the co-working and for the gaming streams. Okay. So if you like
I thought
cozy
I was being
vibes,
subtle. I didn't turn
no,
up.
you're not subtle. You're not subtle.
No, ma'am, I clocked it earlier, and I was going to ask you about it later.
I
Right.
love
Let me know.
Drop the link. Drop the link.
I love video games, and if you love The Sims and you've watched Sims YouTube, their lighting is Myra now. So I clocked
Literally.
it immediately. I knew you have that lighting of a streamer. You really do.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
if that's something you've watched before, like I don't like planner YouTube. I'm never over there, but I stay over there on the Sims side, and it is gamer, streamer central over at Myra's place, and I'm here for it. And I need the list of the stuff too. Okay.
Drop the links. Drop the
I
links.
love that. And that's another thing. Like I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm new. People come to my streams and are like, how you do this? I'm like, I don't know, girl. We gonna Google it together. So like that's just another thing. Like if it's something you want to do, just do it. Just go in and scared and you figure it out along the way.
Go in and scared. Exactly. What about you, Jerica? What are some of your future goals for your platform? I can think of one thing you got coming up in the very near future if you want to talk about that, but no pressure.
To be honest, that is still surreal to because honestly, pretty much that's probably the biggest planner platform right now. So to be asked to host a workshop at Go Wild is insane. I thought I was gonna be helping. I said, girl, if y'all have a workshop, you don't mind helping. I live here. I'm like, cool. And then she came back and was like, so how about we do one together? I said, together at the same time. And she's like, honestly, I want you to lead the class. I was like, me do what? Because I'm like Myra. I just be doing something, y'all. All the techniques and stuff I've learned, it's just because I just figure it out, play around. That didn't work, so I'm going to do this. So I completely understand where Myra's coming from with that. But it was never really a goal of mine. But it's so incredible that something that brings me joy, I used to relax, people love it so much that they want to learn from me. That's kind of wild. And between Myra and Irene, I've learned about co-working, and I think that is super productive. And it's, thank God for technology now, because you don't even have to leave your house, but you can have a very productive session with someone. And so I highly, if nobody's ever done that, you and a friend get on like FaceTime or video chat or whatever and do co-working. Join Myra's. I've been trying to join it, but I be at work and they be making me do my job for real. And so I can't, sometimes usually in the classroom. And so I've been trying to make one though. I'm gonna get on there one day, Myra. But so right now my goal is that Go Wild Workshop goes as best it could possibly be. And honestly, my goal is to have people walk away from that learning something. That's really my goal. I think I do have a little bit of goals after that because the response has been so amazing and positive. I would love to host more workshops after that. And I never thought that'd be a goal of mine. But after this, the interest and the amount of people that are bummed to miss a workshop, I would love to provide that from people so on a digital scale. And so I haven't said that out loud to anybody actually, but that's a goal.
T.
Come on, T. So I got to get through this big hurdle first, and then I think I'll be able to map out a class a lot better from that. So I'm really excited about that. But I think overall, and I think it's okay to say, I don't have any other goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. Right now, I'm just having a good time. I'm just very thankful that I'm able to get back to doing this because I wasn't doing this for about a year, being sick. And so I think it's okay to not have goals set yet. And I think it's okay that you had goals and you had to pause them. There's nothing wrong with that. And I want people to stop looking at others and comparing yourselves and be like, I want to do exactly what she's doing and it's not happening that fast. But if you have other things going on, life be lifing, it's okay. I think people need to hear that sometimes. And so, like I said, my immediate goal is the Go Wild workshop. I'm so honored with that. I'm bursting at the seams because I have a fun surprise coming with that too. There's several surprises. And so I never thought any of this would be happening. So I'm just really trying to enjoy the moment and kind of live in it. But y'all got to stop asking me though, in my DMs, am I nervous? Because I'm not really nervous. I'm not. But I'm actually more excited than anything. And I just can't believe people want to learn something from me. That kind of blows my mind. But I'm just more excited to meet and hang out with people that I care about more than anything. But it's okay to not have goals. It's okay to pause your goals for this online platform.
So true.
It's not going anywhere, y'all. It is not going anywhere. And it's okay to pivot. Yep. Like Myra was talking about, it is okay to pivot. And it's okay to be yourself. I think a lot of people have a lot more success just being themselves and presenting, because people can tell when you're putting on something. And people ask me all the time, like, how do you do it? And I'm like, girl, I ain't got the energy to be nobody else but Jerica. I'll be tired. I ain't playing with y'all. So just be yourself, and it's okay to pivot. And I think that is the ultimate thing I want people to take away from that. Because honestly, I ain't got no more goals after that, y'all. One thing at a time.
One thing at a time. 1 day at a time. 1 week at a time.
And that's just me. So
I love it. I love it. What about you, Franklin? What are some future goals that you have for your platform?
Well, you know, I was paused for a little bit. So we're gonna pivot and then we're gonna hit the accelerator. My future goals currently, they're set in stone. That I'm actually like, okay, yeah, we're doing this. I'm making a Patreon. And it's funny how we was talking about hobbies and things of that nature outside of, and along with that Patreon is going to be a book club. So I've gotten back into reading. It honestly is the thing that has kept me sane in these last couple of months. And in the midst of me reading and stuff, I also PR for a sticker company called Cuteness Boutique, and she made stickers with men reading books amongst sunflowers. And if you know anything about me, all that was just a big yes. And then I posted about it, and then people were like, "Oh, you know," I was talking about, you know, I think she should start a book club. And it was just a random thought, right? I just threw it out there. So I was like, "You need to do it. You need to do it. You need to do it." But this was the way for me to not only do that, but to also provide a way for me to not only tell people all the different things, because I stream on Bigo and I'm also on YouTube and I'm also on Instagram. It's just a central hub for everybody to come collect the stuff. Whatever you want, you come here, you can hit this tier, you're going to get the printable, blah, blah, blah. You hit this tier, do this. And all that is going to go back to just me doing what I want to do, which is actually build my brand. I want to offer products and services. So I want to be able to style people and their planners and things of that nature. And so that's what that's immediately coming. So mid-March into April, Patreon, and then from that Patreon, the sky's the limit.
Yes, I love it. I'm just so full, and this is absolutely my favorite time of year, and getting to do this panel and and share this platform with so many amazing creators every year. Guys, make sure y'all follow and connect with all the creators who are on our panel: Myra, Franklin, Jerica, and Lore. They are all so amazing, doing such incredible things. And if you want to see more Black content creators, you got to support Black content creators. You know what I'm saying? Uplift them, share their stuff, comment on their stuff, talk to us, comment and tell us how you're feeling and what you like and things like that. It is just so, so important. And I guess, I mean, my future goal for my platform is just to keep, spreading awareness about us and what we have going on and what we're talking about. Okay, Kendra called me out. She said, what are your goals? My goal is to keep having platforms like this where I can share my love for creating with other Black content creators in particularly, and just connecting us to everybody else, humanizing us, and making the internet a little bit safer for all of us. So, and I think that's what panels like this do. So y'all can catch me in these Planner Streets as well. Listen to Planners and Wine, me and Myra's podcast. We're always talking about fun, pop culture, planning, all the things. I'm so grateful again.
Immediate goal.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Drop
it. So small immediate goal is to be on Planners and Wine.
Oh,
I'm gonna put that on blast, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that because I think Meg thought I was playing. I think she did when I said it, but I meant that for real. I think
you make some phone calls and make that happen.
Let me
I can't make no promises, but
I believe it.
Let's go. Of course. And again, we are just so grateful for Arch and Olive to be in such a amazing, inclusive company that goes out of their way to share their platform with so many amazing, diverse creators. Make sure y'all are following them, guys. Make sure y'all support them as well. Bonnie, I know you're probably watching this somewhere, or you're probably gonna catch the replay. I don't know. We love you so much. Thank y'all so much again for joining us. And I think that's it. I think we're good to go. Y'all want to let everybody know one more time where they can find you, and then we'll call it.
I guess I'm going first.
Yeah, please.
All right. So first things first, like I said, my old name was Sergio Savage and Company. On Bigo Live, my ID is sergiosavage.co still. I do a series called Morning Coffee Grinds, where in the mornings around 6 a.m.-ish to about 9-ish, you can probably catch me drinking a coffee. I'll be talking about, setting intentions in the morning, how to prepare yourself for having a good day, good week, etc., etc. I also do a lot of impromptu acting skits and stuff. I also do lip syncing and stuff over there as well. So if you like lip syncing, performance situations, you should definitely come follow me and my Bigo family over there. We have an amazing time. And there's also another way to support me: sharing that live, tapping that screen, sending what's called a bean over there, and that basically funds me to be able to bring you more of the content. You can also follow me on Instagram, Quite Zero Frankly. You can also follow me on TikTok, Quite.Frankly. I also go live over there. I do a lot of planning stuff. You see me in my desk. Patreon coming soon. That'll be the central hub for all the stuff. And yeah, I think that's about it. But if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have access to all the stuff anyway. So
thank you, Franklin. What about you, Jerica? Where can everybody find you?
So mainly I'm just active over on Instagram now. I'm slowly getting back into things. So Jerica Plans is where you can find me over on Instagram. And then what I'll do is, because I need to start doing it anyway, I'll start posting my TikTok link as well, because I often post over there. And then I would eventually, I guess that could be a goal, is to start back up on my YouTube page, because I had started and then I had gotten sick. And so, like I said, I found that people just enjoy watching me work. And so I really I didn't struggle making those videos. It's something I was already doing. It was just longer. So I really want to get back into that. So I guess that is a goal. But mainly I'm active on Instagram, and I never even thought about a Patreon, but that might be the move for the future workshops that I might want to do.
Yes.
Didn't think about that
Love
at all.
it.
So that is actually a great idea. And I think that also is something important. If your favorite creator has a Patreon and you can support it, please do. I think if anything, that helps support them to be able to continue doing what they are doing, whether it's for your entertainment, whether it's online presence, you learn something from them, supporting them on platforms like that is what helps really to keep them rolling. And then also, I don't know, but I'm a part of some Patreons. I know that you form a community over there too. And I think, because and I'm not in the Planner and Wines one. I'm gonna say it right now, but I be having FOMO. I be having FOMO. So as soon as these doctor visits slow down, friends, I'm gonna come over there and come in like a wrecking ball, okay?
No shade, I'm coming too.
Because it sounds like a good time over there. So if you can support a Patreon, definitely do that. I think you'll find a sense of community, even more so, because it's even tighter groups usually in a Patreon.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's very important to say, because apparently my friends do a great Patreon over there. I be super jealous of them Zooms. I be seeing them Zooms. I be hating. Oh, I be salty. I ain't
Girl,
gonna
you
lie.
know you come to the Zoom anytime, okay?
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna keep that in mind because I was super salty on one of them. And but I think that's the goal. But just find me on Instagram, and then you can actually branch off from there.
There we go. Love it. What about you, Myra? Where can everybody find you?
Yes, if you want to see me, you can find me pretty much everywhere at by Myra P. And if you want to hear me, you can find me everywhere at Planners and Wine. So,
Oh, that was
either
cute.
way.
I like that. That was cute. I like how you did that. That was cute.
Okay, I'm gonna put that in my YouTube videos.
I think you should. I
Listen,
love that. Same here. If you want to see me, Meg's got a plan. If you want to hear me, at Planners and Wine. We have a Patreon community, like Jerica mentioned. We would love to have you guys join. The only rule is just don't be an a-hole. Very simple.
Only rule.
Very simple.
that should just be like a rule of life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Don't do it.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. And thank you again to Bunny and the whole Archer and Olive team. And we will talk to y'all soon.